Okay, fantastic. So I'm about to introduce to you our guest for tonight, which is making me, I'm very excited because I know what she carries and I know that today is going to be a very, very big blessing. And I really appreciate her for that. All right. Olapeju is the founder and head of operations of the Mile 12 Market Woman, an agricultural hub with the objective of closing the gap of access to organic farm produce by connecting farmers and consumers. Mile 12 Market Woman addresses peculiarly Nigerian challenges of dire post-harvest loss and insufficiency of direct organic farm to table produce. Organization provides a community that is fully representative of an efficient agri value chain, serving as the optimum intersection between registered farmers, wholesalers, shoppers, producers, consumers, and agro-logistics. Olapeju is as passionate about social contribution as she is about the actualization of the SDGs in Nigeria. To this end, she strives to participate in community building campaigns with the objective of lobbying the government to fix bad roads. In December 2019, she volunteered in a food drive to distribute food items to 1,000 underprivileged individuals. She continues to utilize her platform for positive societal impact. In her position as head of operations, she oversees strategy, operations, and organizational direction, ensuring that activities, processes, and individual projects align with international best practices. She is responsible for brand representation and actualization of the brand's revenue and income generation targets. Under her leadership, Mile 12 Market Woman successfully made a turnover of 20 million naira within the first year and a half of operation. The brand is also consistently expanding its direct interface client base and already has over 500 users. Olapeju Umar is an entrepreneur, business strategist, and engineer with close to a decade's worth of experience across entrepreneurship, FMCG distribution, and oil and gas. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Electronics Engineering, as well as a diploma in Computer Science. Her passion for the actualization of SDGs 1 and 2, namely no poverty and zero hunger, has, however, informed her foray into entrepreneurship, where she works to optimize the agricultural value chain in Nigeria, with current focus on Lagos. Prior to her current role, she was a procurement officer at a fast-moving consumer goods distributorship, where she handled transactions worth well over 100 million naira while managing relationship between the company and its clients. She has also functioned as an IT operative at Afriquel Oil and Gas. Ladies, family members, I'm sure now you like, let me see the welcome. Let me see the magnanimous welcome. Let me see that magnanimous welcome in the comments. I particularly, in fact, there are a number of reasons why I invited her here. There are a number of reasons. I heard her speak and I said to myself, this is what people will say, is it not food stuff? I beg, is it not, it's Mile 12 now, right? When you hear Mile 12 Market Woman, maybe you're thinking, okay, a market woman is going to come in here and all of that. But when you see her courage, her manner of speech, her poise, everything about her, you'll be inspired. You'll be inspired to take small and dream big. You'll be inspired to look at where you are and appreciate it and work towards global. Because reading her profile, ordinarily, you would, well, touch market woman, okay, she sells food stuff, she sells this. But reading her profile, even the way she has packaged it, the things that she's been able to achieve, right? It's absolutely beautiful. I honestly I'm inspired, and I can't wait for her to. I can't wait for her to. Wow. I can't wait for her to just drop it. Okay. About 12 market woman. Where are you? Let's let them see what I'm talking about. So I don't understand. Okay, so I add you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a very long day, so apologies. I had to just quickly get in, have a shower, and no makeup. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We're just grateful that you're here.
Thank you, everybody. I'm seeing the comments. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave so that you can take over. But I really, there's some questions on my heart before you even start talking. Because I'm really, a lot of things, I'm wondering, right? There's a lot of things on my mind, but I really want to get into your mind. One thing I see about you is that you have a very, very intelligent mind. I know people can say, okay, it's because you studied engineering or whatever. Yeah, but I want to get into your mind. Like when you started this business and how you've carried on in the business, how did you develop the kind of mind that you have that makes you take something that people would ordinarily say, it is just market, and then turn it into the kind of thing that you've turned it into? I mean, reading your profile alone, the use of English, the communication, where you put everything together with the SDG goals, and anybody that reads that profile or sees it will be like, let's just pack all their words and this one. Like, I'm just blown away. So that's like my question, and then I'll just go back so that you can just continue what you're doing.
Okay, so before you're not going anywhere, because let me be. I think I'd rather we have a conversation together. I don't know what you want me to come and talk about. Like, you want me to just be talking like that anyhow? I'm not talking like that. So if you ask me questions, I think I would do better if questions are asked and then I can reply and all. It will make me. So already we know the pulse that the group wants to have, rather than me just speaking. So maybe I should answer that question you asked. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, so maybe I should answer the question you asked. Honestly, I think you put like 3 questions inside one, so I'm not sure which one is the question. What exactly do you want me to answer right now? Hello, Anifupe, can you hear me?
Can anybody hear me? I don't know what's going on with my devices today, but we're gonna do this thing. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. So this is the Lead Again community, and like I explained to you when I was speaking to you about our community, there are quite a number of different kinds of women. There are housewives, there are women that did not go to school, they just have SSC. There are some who have up to PhD level and masters and all kinds of coaching certifications and all of that. But there's just different kinds of women here. And a lot of times when women are limited in either their qualification, their, I don't know, their status or whatever, or maybe they don't have a job or things like that, it tends to affect the mind. And when a woman has been knocked down by life, maybe life has done one things, maybe you experience setback somehow in your marriage, in your job life or career life, in your business life, you kind of feel like maybe I can't have a business if I don't have this, I don't have that, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So the limits are there, they are loud, and they are plenty in the head of an average woman that feels like, well, business. So even when a woman is doing business, sometimes we tend to just do the business. We don't want to, how do I put it? We don't see, even though we see the bigger picture sometimes, our current circumstances might limit us, stop us, cripple us. We know that there is so much potential in us and everything that we need to do and we can do, but we are not doing it because there's so many limits. So I wanted to get into your mind because I know that when I heard your story, you said, you studied engineering and you decided to just go into the Mile 12 market woman thing. Maybe you can run us through why you went into it, right? And then what kind of mind, like what did you do? What kind of work did you work on your mind? What's the mind growth that for you? What has it been for you? Were you always the kind of person that your mind, your brain is always working on point and all of that? How did it start for you and how did you develop your mind before the business part? Because mindset is so critical. So I'm really hitting on mindset because anybody who sees themselves as small can never go big. It's not like it's a curse. You would do things small, you would play small, you will behave small, everything about you will attract small, small, small. So that's why I'm staying there. So those are the two questions basically. How it started for you and how you developed your mind to the point that you're in right now.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't take this for granted. I always want to share for every time I am invited at any platform. And I find it an honor because it is one thing for you to have a gift. It's another thing for your gift to be appreciated and to be able to share it with the world. One of the things I know that God has called every one of us to do is to be able to inspire one another. And so on that note, I'm going to start. Good evening, everybody. My name is Olakpeju Uma. I'm a Yoruba lady married to an Akwa Ibom man. I have two boys, 11 and 10 years old. I studied electrical electronics engineering. And yeah, I got married in school. I'm giving you some background so that we can feel warm with each other. One key thing that I know also that, you are responsible for yourself. The truth of the matter is, in as much as we always want to look for people to inspire us, God has placed us here on earth and he has entrusted in us a life that is so precious, that is supposed to be a candle and a light to other people. Now, if you see your life as such, then you won't want your life to waste. The reason why I said that is because I understand that there will be times when you feel stuck. There's nothing to do. I have, like she said, like Enifome said, I have masters, I have PhD, and after I got married, there's just nothing to do. Or even, I don't even have some qualifications. I don't know what to do with myself. Well, I was also in that situation. And the truth of the matter is a lot of people get themselves or find themselves in those situations a lot of times. But what we do with those situations is what matters. So in my background as an engineer, let me not even use my background as an engineer. Growing up in church as a church girl, one of the things that pastor used to share with us then was, you cannot afford to waste your time. Time is equal to life. And they would encourage us that even if you don't have anything doing, leave your house and go and offer yourself, your services to someone, even if it is for an internship. And I think that those were the kind of mindsets I grew up with that did not make me stuck, even though I knew that I needed, even though there were no opportunities coming at a lot of points in my life. So I had, like I said, because of the background I have in church, my very first venture into entrepreneurship it was a gift from my pastor. So I was awaiting university admission then. I was in, I don't know, of course I was more than 18 years old, and I was awaiting university admission, but it wasn't coming. I'm one of those people that wrote WAEC I wrote my WAEC once. From my secondary school, I had passed my WAEC, but JAMB decided that it was going to be a principality and a power. So I waited at home for 5 years, writing JAMB year after year and not getting an admission. Sorry, my light went off. I just want to quickly put it up. Hold on, please. So, okay, let me just keep talking. So I got so my pastor did a form of entrepreneurship training for the youth, because he found out that the youth were just wasting away. So he did an entrepreneurship training for us, and at the end of the training, he gave us 500 naira each, 500 naira to work with. So I loved being in the kitchen, and I don't know, I just picked chin chin to sell. So I would fry chin chin, I would package them, I would send them through my mom to her place of work. The days when I would go there myself to go and sell chin chin and all of that. But that was my first venture into entrepreneurship. After that training, I think it was a 1 or 2 week training. I can't really remember right now. But my 500 had become 1,500. So I was like, hey, girl, hey, I've made money. And I was actually spotlighted in church, like, you tripled the money, But yeah, it was also encouraging to see that I could get that done. So fast forward to university days, I already had this background, and I just couldn't stop. When you're making money for yourself, it's sweeter. I'm one of the people that before I will ask you for something, you know that you don't choke before I would open my mouth to ask you for something, because of the kind of, background that I have, and the fact that I know that, there's a lot more than that my hands can do. So fast forward to university days, like I said, I had a business. I had an interior decor business. So I'll call it interior decor. But basically what we were doing was I'll go and buy bed sheet materials in Yaba. I'll sew them and I'll sell. And that was the way, even if mommy's pocket money was still going to come at the end of the month, I still had more money coming in for me. So at every point in time, I had noticed that, okay, I just couldn't be idle. Now, leaving the university, in fact, I before I left the university, I had gotten married. So I got married in my 400 level. I studied engineering, like so it was a 5-year course. I had gotten married in my 400 level, and immediately the children started popping out. So I got married in May. By December, I was pregnant. So there was no breathing space. By my final papers, I dropped my final paper. I finished my exams in July the following year, and I think it was last week of July. And by the next week, which was August, I was in the hospital put into bed. So there was no breathing space. So I did not pause my life because of childbearing, but life happened. I just wasn't getting the jobs because I was applying and the jobs were not coming. The one that eventually came was actually from my husband's place of my husband's business, and I was just doing stuff. But of course, I don't want to work in my husband's business. I want to have my own thing, So applying applications up and down, but it wasn't coming in. So what was sustaining me, and I was even able to put in some things into my own pockets and even contribute to the finances at home, was the interior decor. So I still continued doing that. At some point, I also did cooked food. So I have done, if I count in my head, I think I've done like 10 different types of businesses. So at some point, I did cooked foods. I would cook food you know, I got what I won't call her a chef, but she was a cook, and she will come with use firewood and all of that with the smoky jollof rice and all of that. We'll package it, we'll take it to Access Bank. Then my husband was working in Access Bank. We'll take it to Access Bank, we'll go and sell, you know, and make some money, you know, and all of that. But all in all, for every step of the way, I just see, I made a comment. You're responsible for yourself. The moment we realize that you're not only even responsible for yourself, you're responsible for the lives that God has placed in your hands, then I think we can start doing better as people. Because I know how, see, I won't be the one to come here to talk, to try to sugarcoat things. I know how tough things can be, because we have lived there. I have been there also. But if we keep making excuses for ourselves, we cannot grow. So the ultimate is that we know that we have been called to a life of purpose. We know that God has placed a gift inside of us, and that gift has to be shared with the world. There is no way a woman that is not working, that is not gainfully doing something, can stand up to speak and people will listen. I'm not saying that being a full-time housewife is bad, but I'm saying that even in the purpose, if you are being a full-time housewife and you feel that that is your calling, how many lives are being touched by you being a full-time housewife? If it is the lives of your children, it has to show. But then again, my reservation about being a full-time housewife is that you cannot financially stand on your own on the days of trouble. And that now poses a big issue, because God forbid something happens to the breadwinner of the home. What happens and how do we handle that? We've heard a lot of stories that the woman dedicated her life to raising the children. The husband died, and the husband's family members came to throw her out, starting all over again from ground zero. So in as much as, you know, maybe if, I don't know if there's somebody here on this call that finds themselves in the space of being a full-time housewife, can you find something to do while at home? Thank God for the age of technology. Thank God for social media. You really don't have to go and be frying chin-chin to sell, to be able to, in order to make money. There are some soft skills that you can learn. There's some skills you can actually learn. Even creating content can fetch in money for you. So I believe that we have gone past the era of a woman not doing anything for herself. One of the things okay, so let me finish my story. So how did I now venture into Mal12 Market Woman? Mal12 Market Woman started from a place of need. So we had moved out of Anthony, where we were before, and then we moved down here. We moved to Awaya. And when we moved here, you know, it was just a struggle. Yeah, I would go to the Malam to buy pepper, and tomatoes of 500 naira was, I think that was during the time when tomatoes were very, very scarce. And I'll see tomato of 500, maybe just 5 6 or something. It was really, I just couldn't fathom it, because where I'm coming from, I was coming from the mainland, I was coming from Anthony, where that was close to Mal12. And growing up, I would follow my mom to Mal12 almost every week, whenever she has to go. Anyway, I'm used to the pricing of these food items, and I move here and I'm seeing tomatoes in this meander quantity. So I started shopping from Mile 12 for my home. But the thing now became, after I started doing that for my home, my neighbors saw that. And then they were like, oh, can you help me shop? Now, meanwhile, I had another business I was doing then. I was doing, I was a distributor. That's the FMCG that you see on my bio. So I was a distributor for FMCG products. You know, so, but I just found the passion of going to the market. First of all, it was for myself, like I said, from a need. But then again, people were asking me, and I was like, it's like this thing, it's like it's going to become a big thing. Now, while I was doing that, my business was not really booming. It started dwindling at some point. So I now found myself with zero to nothing. You know, I lost a lot of money, and it was this Mile 12 market man that seemed to be promising. So I closed my shop, packed all the goods, sold them out. The ones I could sell out, I sold them out. The ones we were going to eat at home, we kept them for the house. And I faced Mile 12 market man. Now, so that's the journey of how we started Mile 12 market man. Again, I would say a woman should not be idle. There are words you will hear from your husband that will affirm what you're doing. Now, I have a very beautiful relationship with my husband. We had been friends from our teenage years. So I met him when I was in secondary school. And although we were just friends, but we were very close friends. He never asked me out and all of that. I'm just saying, so we had known each other for like 11 years before he even asked me out. And then we got married. And in all of the years that I had been with him, he says special things, but there are some things that come from a deep place that you know that it is because you are adding value that you are hearing those words. I remember there was a time when we had a need. Even that was before I started this Mile 12 market man. After I left, I was done with university, and I was still doing my interior decor. We had a need. We needed to pay our house rent, and my husband's job was not forthcoming, you know. And so there was no savings. We had little or nothing then. There was no savings, and I got a contract to sew curtains and, you know, for a home. So the man had just moved in. I think it was a 5-bedroom home then. I got a contract to sew curtains there and bed sheets, and the contract paid our rent. It is from those kind of things you now hear more special words. You know, before they will tell you, I love you. You know, it's on those kind of, you know, those kind of gestures. You're hearing things like, I'm proud of you. Like that for me is also fulfillment. Like, this is it. I should be able to contribute. You know, there are times when, I mean, one of the big contracts we just got recently in the company, and, you know, those kind of words came back again. And I was like, yes, it's good. So it also helps to validate you as a person. Now, what have your hands found to do? That's where that's where I'm moving to in this discussion, because we feel like we don't know what to do. Shopping for people may look mundane. It may look like there's no skill to it now. It's not just to go and shop for people. But the truth of the matter is, I found it as I'm seeing a need. Now, if you go to any business school, they will tell you who is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who has identified a need and is willing to close the gap of that need. So I saw the need in my immediate community, and I decided to close the gap. That's who an entrepreneur is. You're different. An entrepreneur is different from just a trader. A trader will just buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. But an entrepreneur has identified a need and has located it. And you know that you can feel the need, and then you do it. So what have your hands found to do? Look around you. Who needs what? How can I fill in that role? The Bible says that we should not despise the days of humble beginnings. So I won't be the one to stand here to tell you that you need to have all the money in the world before you can start. Because when I started my On Top Market Woman, I had 0 naira in my account, and I know what I'm talking about. I had 0 naira, so people can actually come here and sugarcoat, go online and sugarcoat things, but I personally had 0 naira in my account. Excuse me, when I started my On Top Market Woman. I basically, what did I do? You need something. Maybe you pay me service charge. It's that service charge I used to transport myself to the market and go and shop for people. But then again, you don't stop at being in that humble background, because even if God is the God of growth. Look at the world today. God created the world in 6 days, and in 7 days he rested. On the 7th day he rested. But you cannot say that everything that God created in those 6 days are the only things we are seeing now. I'm saying that all that we're seeing now came out of the things that he created in the 6 days. So you have a chair, you have a plastic chair today. The plastic came from somewhere. You know, he has put seed inside those things that he created so that they can reproduce after themselves. And that is why today it's not only Adam and Eve that are still living on earth. We have billions of people. Adam and Eve have reproduced to billions. According to statistics, we are hearing we are 8 billion. Is it 7 or 8 billion in the world? You know, we've reproduced. God himself placed seed inside everything he produced so that they can produce after themselves. So even in that your small beginning, what is that seed that you have? What is that seed that you have inside that can make you reproduce? So when I started, it was just me. It was just me going to the market. When I found out that it was too stressful, myself and my nanny at home, her job was to come home and help me clean the house. But she and I would drive to the market and go and do our shopping, you know. And that's how we started. So we're doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But it can't still be me that is still doing that one, because how do you grow? It can't still be me that is still going to the market now to go and shop for people. That is why you need to put systems and structures in place. That is how you know that you are building a business that can outlive you. At least we start from there. Because if you are still the one doing what you started with, there's always the place to keep doing it. I mean, I did mine for over 2 years before I started putting the structures in place. Now, those 2 years I did help me to learn the ropes. There's nothing anybody can tell me now that I don't know. I know all the market. I know the corners of the market. Like, my team cannot come up with stories for me now. They know. Before you talk once to have entered where I want to enter, I've brought out what I need to bring out. You know, so you need to, there are days of humble beginning, you need to learn the ropes. But then again, like I always say, you come as you are, but you don't stay as you came. So you have this skill, you know, but how do you reproduce after yourself? You put structures in place. You train people who can replicate exactly what you know and even do it better than you, so that you can go to bed with your eyes closed. Right now, it's not as if I'm free, but I'm now in the business development aspect of my business. I'm not the one in the market shopping for people. If the day you see me in the market, it's just because I want to, I still want to go, because me, I like markets, go. I was telling my husband, you know, a few days back that, Christmas is coming. Me, I have to enter Lagos Island. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I was hearing an interference. Okay, I was hearing an interference, so I thought maybe you were saying something. You know, so I was still telling my husband recently that we have to enter Lagos Island. So we all have our passions, and market is one of, I don't know, it's a weird passion. But anyway, there's that crowd shopping. That's where you will find me. So I would always want to go there. But that cannot take the bulk of my time anymore. Because I have to think of posterity. I have to think of how this business will outlive me. And that's where the structures come into place. You know, as of today now, we have a team of shoppers, we have a team of sorters, we have a team of data people, we have a team of the media guys. All those designs, if you go to our page and you see designs, I'm not the one that is designing it. There are people that are doing that. We have a website development team. So we have all of that. And we can't even stop there. So as of today, we have rebranded. We're not Maltop Marketing Man. It's me that is Maltop Marketing Man, because I'm taking that name for myself. It's a brand, you know, but we're now My Food Angels. And like I said, there's a team, you know, but then, and then now there's a website. There's a website to the business. We can't stop at the website, because we now need to build a proprietary website, because there are two different things. What we have right now is a WooCommerce website. Part of our goal for next year is to have built a proprietary website and then transform fully into a tech company. So you see the way the transition is going. We cannot, and what tech will do for you really is it helps you to scale beyond, it's me that is driving. It's me that is, you know, tech helps you to scale. So you can replicate the same thing you have built in Lagos, you can replicate it in Abuja. You don't need to be there, but you replicate it in Abuja, you replicate it in other parts of the country. That's how, I mean, what did God say? He said he will bless you. He told Abraham, he said, go outside, look at the stars, as many as they are. I will bless you so much that your seed will be as much as that. And that's the blessing of Abraham. And when we say Abraham's blessings are mine, that's where we should be aiming. And it's not in the number of children. It's not in the number of children, because one cannot now render themselves useless to say, every month, every year now, to the bond. Now to the bond, they do me now. You know, we need to move beyond that. Okay, we bless God, we are fruitful, we're multiplying in the area of reproduction. What about in other areas, in the area of your business? How many lives are you touching? Because the more you are opening up businesses, the more you are touching lives. Like it or not, Dangote today is fulfilling scripture. Like it or not, because a lot of us don't like to talk about these things. He's fulfilling scripture. How many is it? Thousands that he's touching by employing their life, by employing them. He's touching lives. He's ensuring that people are able to eat. He's fulfilling scripture. So the moment we begin to see life beyond ourselves and know that we are responsible for not only ourselves, but for others. I mean, I was having a conversation with some people today, and it was funny because I started, in retrospect, I started looking like, God, I thank you. Because some of the team members that worked with us and have moved on to other things, I bless God that we were able to help place them in some positions that they are right now. You know? So the idea is to be able to replicate what you're doing in the lives of others, give them the ability to be able to, you know, reproduce without you being there. And then build systems and put systems and structures in place that can aid your business to grow beyond you. I think I've said a lot. So I'll wait for your second question.
Why won't you say a lot when, so give me a second. Okay. I'm using two devices because I don't want any. Why won't you say a lot when you are full? If I pour Coke inside a cup and the Coke is coming out and overflowing, it's because the cup is full. And I tell people, like, people see me, like, how you talk about God so much? I'm like, if I'm full of something, if I love something and I cherish that thing, right? And I've eaten to the point where I'm full. If I talk, it will come out. Whether I like it
or not?
Yes, or not.
So when I hear you speak, I hear a woman who has invested in herself, a woman who, I don't know what's going on with my device, a woman who has invested in herself, a woman who knows who she is, a woman whose confidence level is high. And you see, interestingly, God told me this way to help people shine their light. Now, I'm not, if you know me, people that know me, I don't know how to flatter people. I say things the way it is. And because I'm a woman that is on this purpose journey, I know how difficult and challenging it is. I'm not even coming to make light of the fact that, oh, it's all rosy, it's just easy. I know the sacrifice. Without you opening your mouth to say, this is it, this is it, this is it. For example, in food business is messy. It's messy. Sometimes you're in the market, there is mud. Sometimes you're in the market and everything is all messed up. And then you have to pick out tomatoes. You have to pick out this one. You have to, because I studied civil engineering, right? And one of the reasons why I stopped doing all those wahala, I said, if they don't put me inside AC, put me in oil, not oil company. I'm trying to be Raz here and deliberate. Oil company, right? I know they do. Because I realized as a civil engineer, you have to chook your leg inside if there is mud there, you will wear in boots, you will chook your leg, you will stay in the sun, you will get dark. If you really want the job to be done, you have to be on site. It's not like other engineering, they can be inside the office and be sending someone message, hey, go and put this thing here. No, you have to be there. Otherwise, the project can just scatter. So me, I know that all this is you're saying, no, you're being modern, you're speaking English for us. Me, I know that it cannot be easy. So that's why
it wasn't easy, definitely. As in, there's no
because sometimes we
sugar
think that it's all this Instagram, people are looking nice, wear makeup. The part where the person will tie scarf and say, oh yeah, let's go there. How many bags are we getting? How many baskets are we getting? So the idea of I don't want to get dirty or people should not see me, I'm ashamed, I'm doing market woman, they will now say I'm this, I'm that.
You know what? There's no shame.
You're muted. Can you unmute yourself? You're
okay.
Muted.
No, I'm not muted.
Why can't I hear you? Okay. I've seen the problem. I can hear you now.
There's no shame in me. I did not hide anything. No. If you go to our page, it's just that because we have done at least over a year's content may have covered it. But if you go down, as in I always like to tell people, just go and sit down on that page. Just keep scrolling, go down. You will see. See, can you see all these spots on my face? They were like big acne. My face was smooth. If you go down. In fact, it's just at this call. It was just at this call I realized, on this call, I was just looking at my skin. I said, God, I thank you that I can even be bold enough to be without makeup. Because then, and I'm saying this because all that acne that was on my face was not because of anything, but it was because of that business. So I'm saying that there will be sacrifices. There will be things that there will be things that do not even conform to the way you think you should be. Like you said, you're going to look yourself and say, now maybe this so. But is this how your life has become that you're now entering? Do you know what it feels like to be an engineer, an electrical electronics engineer? I finished with a 2-1. And a lot of a lot of my friends had gotten they had been gainfully employed. We were the.
So you had a reason. Sorry to interrupt you. You had a reason to feel ashamed. You had a reason to feel like, see my life. You had a reason to feel like, oh, my mates don't get big work. Is this somebody doing
you know how?
Why is my own like this?
You know how engineering campus can be. It will be more of guys. The few girls that were there, we were part of the happening girls where the what's up. Then you're now leaving school. And what you found to do is to be going to market for people. You don't understand though. So, I mean, and I finished with the 2-1, like I said. So it's as if it was lack of, maybe I didn't have good grades. I had good grades. But if the jobs were not coming, and I see that, okay, this is what I can do, let me do it. Because at the end of the day, they say shit money, no, they smell. The person that is into that's how that guy started. That's the man that's doing this mobile toilets. He gave that phrase, shit money, no, they smell.
Otumba.
It doesn't smell.
Yeah.
The money that comes from your hard labor, at the end of the day, is still money for you to spend. Who wants to know where it came from? Who wants to know where it came from? So the truth of the matter is, I think we limit ourselves by saying that job, that thing is not up to my status. Who give you status? At the end of the day, can it feed you? I don't know, but God help us all to understand that. Can it pay the bills? Can it at least move me from point A to point B? Even if it is not the dream job I have, the job I dreamt of, or the kind of business or the kind of class, because I know people are so bothered about class these days. Recently, I cut my hair, and I cut it in a salon here in Awuyaya. The lady did a fantastic job. Like, she did a fantastic job. And somebody was asking me, one of my friends was like, oh, where did you cut your hair? I said, Awuyaya. Then she was like, okay, I want to cut my hair too, but I want to go to Lekki. I don't know that. Okay, you have money. You have money to spend. She wants to go to the place that they are collecting 15K or 20K to cut hair. I say it's not to cut hair. When I finish cutting my hair, it's not you that told me that you like the hair. So why must it be the one in Lekki? So because we always play this status thing that I don't understand. At the end of the day, you looking at me saying I'm going to Awuyaya, you are not contributing anything to my pocket. You're not contributing anything to my livelihood. Why must I now look at you? I live in an estate where everybody is doing buga for one another. And I'm like, we're okay. Because you can't be forming class. I mean, I find myself in that situation and I'm like, look, I can't be forming class in. They know how full they are. They are very full. You know, when person don't belly full, that's when they start doing nonsense. Me, I know where I'm going. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself, how can I do? What else can I do to bring in more money for myself? I don't care. If it is what's it called, sweet corn that is available today to sell on the platform, I go there, I go and sell my sweet corn. The day I remember to go and post market errands, I will go there, market errands too. I don't care however you're looking at me. I really do not care. Because at the end of the day, you are not contributing anything to my life. But I know how many lives I'm impacting. I know how many busy professionals have given us feedback to say, thank you for this business. You have helped me put some sanity. You really don't know the impact of what you are doing. The time I started getting those feedbacks, especially when we just started, and when I was the one who was one-on-one, because now we have customer service, but I still follow up with customers. But I'm saying then you are getting those kind of on-the-spot feedback, and they're telling you that, babe, you're a lifesaver. Hey, that's fulfilling for me. That's minus the staff that we are employing. Even the customers that we are serving are telling us that we are lifesavers because we have cut off that stress of shopping for them. The person, even if it is pure water you decide to start selling, the person from whom you are buying the pure water is glad that you are existing. The thirsty souls that are drinking your water are glad that your business is existing. And then the customers that will come and patronize you are also glad that you're existing. I think if we begin to think of life beyond ourselves, we'll begin to know that being idle is definitely not the way to go. And it is a waste of the resources. Remember that God is not only a God, he's a business person. If you think about it well, he's not just a person. So I won't say he's a business person, but he has a business mindset. God is a spirit, and he has a business mindset. If you check the Bible, on the parable of the sower who had planted, the farmer who had planted, and this particular tree was not yielding fruits. Jesus said, the master said he wanted to cut it off. Then the apostles, the workers now said, Master, can we give it one more year? And this was 3 years of planting the tree, and the tree was not bearing fruit. Can we give it one more year? And if by next year you come and you do not find any fruit on it, then we can cut it off. God is not into the business of having children who are not producing. For every time I'm not growing, I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel fulfilled. There has to be a new level of growth. There has to be. Because he is new every morning. We can't keep doing the same old same year in, year out. And then we now gather and be throwing pity party for ourselves. This Nigeria is hard. My sister, since I finished school, I never see job. That's pity party. And nobody, we don't get paid to throw pity party for ourselves. People are doing things, even in this Nigeria that everybody's complaining, there's no money, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. People are closing deals every day. So why should it be you that you're a child of God that your own is different? I don't know. I just
The fire is getting hot, but it's very necessary. And you know why this is interesting? And I just followed the leading of the Holy Spirit because I got a lot of messages from people saying, I need a job, everything is hard, I don't have any money, if you know anybody. And I'm like, there's a lot of money. In fact, there is just so much. In fact, like I said when I did that training, I said, my problem is time. My problem is not what to do to make money. My problem is time to do all the things I need to do to make money. So there's a lot. There's just so much. I met a civil engineer yesterday on a site I went to for inspection. And the guy was like, I need a job. I sat him down. I said, wow, that is amazing. How about real estate? How about selling people's land for them? How about going to develop people's land? Like, there's just a lot. There's money. And again, you live on the island. The island is a center place for real estate and money. Bro, open your eyes. Like, I was like, how? I'm just happy that you're speaking on this. It's like, you enter this side to me, or you listen to the one we had before you came. Because you're speaking about your hand, how you should know that it was not like fruitfulness. I read to them the parable of time, and how he said, cast that person into outer darkness, because I gave you, return the same one I gave you. That's the excuse is that I gave you only one. But this one thing that you have, now you had this, okay, let me just go and buy things for people. Look at everybody around me. They're suffering, they're complaining. Tomato is like three seeds. Instead of complaining about this thing again and again, why don't I just use some opportunity? And I spoke about this when I talked last week, some days ago. I said, are you seeing problem or are you seeing opportunity? It's the same. Two people went to India. They said that there are no shoes in India. The first person left India and went back to his country. Second person said there are no shoes. Let me go and look for how to bring shoes here. And he became a millionaire. So me, I don't take excuses. I don't believe that there is nothing you can do. But sometimes I feel like maybe I'm too harsh. So to hear you, I'm like, hey, God. And my spirit is overjoyed. Just I'm trying my best to be calm, but I am overjoyed. I'm so happy because you have proved that there is no limit. Your limit is only in your head. It's only in your mind. Like, see, I need to say, I'm going to get this here, right? And you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you now. a friend of mine was a colleague with you in Flourish Africa, whatever, right? What they call it, what they call it, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
She knows you very well, right?
Are you
And
serious?
there is not only that one that you have even gotten many and everything. You know, she knows you very well. My colleague. You know her because she does groceries. I don't want to give her away, but she does groceries, right? But the truth of the matter is that why I mentioned that is because you have, let me try to articulate my words. There's no stopping you. You are somebody who desires more from your life. And I need to point that out to everyone listening to me. All it takes is the desire to be more. That's where it starts from. If you are okay with how you are, at least we have food now, because a lot of Christians, we have this problem. The Bible says godliness with contentment is great gain, but it doesn't say that your contentment should be your problem. Because when it becomes your problem, it's a problem. They are so contented that you don't even want, like she said, even if you don't want anything for your life, what of those coming ahead of you? What of being a blessing to other people? If you do not use your hands and use your talents and get something doing and have this positive mindset that, look, it's going to work, because the Bible says that whatever your hand finds to do it well. It says whatever you do prosper. If you don't have that mindset and get to work, as in take action, what like she said, they'll call you to come and do what? So how long will you sit down and be admiring people that are doing things? You know, this person just got an award. This person is now this person is now that. Now wow, it's them. People like, cause let's just look, I admire you. You have strength. You are strong. Man, they called you again. You are amazing. We are all amazing. God created all of us amazing. The difference between someone and someone else is the quality of work they're willing to put in to bring out their amazingness. There is no amazingness that you will be amazing that is not already inside you. But there is something you need to see. I took notes, and this is why when I hear you speaking, I'm like, this woman is a lover of knowledge. Me, knowledge is that is a game changer for me. I'm always ready, willing to learn. And I've been look at my this thing. I've been writing, and I'll take some of the points that I don't ever put myself, hey, you're not gonna learn, you're not going. And that's a problem, because the day you stop learning, you start dying and you become stale, you become irrelevant. That is just the truth. You become irrelevant. That is it. So I have some questions for you, like 2 on top of my head, but I want to run through the things that I wrote down. And please, I want to ask, drop your questions in the comments. If you have questions about anything she said, anything about business that's like, this one, this people are still saying, it's still hard in my brain, no, type it in the comments so that as much as she can take it before she leaves us, because time is fast spent. All right. So I said that I wrote down that your time is your life. And it's interesting that I mentioned this thing when I was talking to them the last time. I said, every time you're wasting, you know, even the person I saw yesterday about job, I said, you can't sit around waiting for them to call you for job. You must equip yourself with skills. There is Canva there. Start designing flyers. Download it. I forced him to do Canva there and then. I showed you this YouTube, you can monetize it. Start teaching people about engineering. What you can even do, right? And then you mentioned that you were actually in church, skill that you should learn and everything, and then your pastor gave you 500 naira, and you took that thing. I went to go and start doing moi. And I said you were not wasting your life, because you were using your time, even though you were not getting, you did not gotten what you wanted, but you were busy. And I'm not trying to say that business is not means to be productive, but I'm saying that it is progressive. If you start and you just take one step, you would get to take 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps. But if you do not take any step, you will remain stuck. You will remain there, and you will blame your village people, you will blame your parents, you will blame everybody but yourself. Because the truth is that your greatest enemy is you. You, the one inside you, is the one doing you. Because the village people cannot do you without you.
Yes.
You need to with them for them to do you. So there's a mindset shift going on here that I really, really love. I really absolutely, I'm so, as in, I'm happy because I'm like, that you don't need one big shop to start business. You don't need one big capital to start business. You don't need any, you just need you to start the business that you want to start. You are that important. Money is the least. It's important, but it's the least because there is something called other people's money. You don't know. But as the bag, you just put it on your person. I bet, well, I'm looking for capital. No, they will give you pay them back. But once your mindset is rubbish or zero, there is nothing. You cannot even see the good in anything, right? And then you started my 500 interior decoration, and you did up to 10 businesses. So you were building street smartness, street sense. You were gathering sales skills, right? You just couldn't be idle. I noted that down. We cannot be comfortable being idle. Even though the man is telling you, for example, if you're married, oh, I love you, baby, don't worry, don't be idle. You yourself, for yourself, by yourself, and for your people that are coming ahead of you, for your children, because you see, a lot of times, we can get away with being idle, but what we are doing is we are passing on idleness to the next generation. When they come, there is for them to take and say, my mother, because even though they said, okay, my mother gave birth to me and she gave birth to me, they themselves would like, where do I want to start from now in this, my own life now? Business, who will I go with? Then they will not be going to look for other.
Let me quickly chip in something. You know, just like you said, my son, so I came up today, I'm doing a program right now with Access Bank. And we it's been a very long week. I've not really had time to see my children one-on-one, you know, and I like to see. Sorry?
See the picture on.
Yes. So we started classes and all.
Programs. Continue, keep going.
So I just got home today, and like I said, you know, that's why I said I just ran into the shower. I couldn't even, no strength to even make up. What do I say? The little time, because I'm always looking to gist with them. I got home 7 o'clock. I jumped from church meeting. I was on church meeting because I'm the HOD of my department. I jumped from church meeting to this call. So there was even no time. So while at the church meeting, my son came in, and so we were just gisting and we're just catching up. And it was like, so he just finished his tests last week. And so the results are coming out. And then he says, Mommy, you as a businesswoman, let me tell you, I got 18/20 in business studies. I said, correct, you're learning business. So you see, what I'm trying to say in essence is, just like you were saying, if you're idle, is idleness you're passing to your children. A lot of times what we do, they are modeling after it. We just don't know. My second son would say he is proud to wear our brand. My second son is so proud. Is proud. The other day he wore, because in customizing t-shirts, we customize their own too. So we customized for them. He wore his own to school one day, and he came back and was telling me that, Mommy, I advertised my food angels in my school today. I told my friends to tell their moms to go to your website and shop for. Like, I was like, so I'm just going to buttress that point that if you're idle, that's what your children will see. If all you are doing all day is African magic, you are sowing the seed for your children. If all you are doing all day, it's not as if, even me here, as I'm talking to you, I don't get idle. There are days when I just want to, you know what, I just want to zone out and do nothing. But we all have those days. In fact, today in class, like, because the week has just been bombarded. Today in class, I almost did not even go. And at the point, I just told my lecturer, I said, sir, and I thought it was only me. So, and it was every one of us. So I said, sir, because he likes to play music in class. So he plays it very soft and all of that. I said, sir, let's do TGIF. Everybody will wake up. And we all stood up and we're dancing. So I'm not saying that they're not, what I'm saying is there are times when you don't feel you're most productive, and it is fine. because you are also flesh. You're spirit, but you're also flesh, and you need time to rest. But don't make rest your work. You know, it shouldn't be throughout your life. It's African magic that your children are always finding you to do. Then that's a problem.
You
know, because that's what they inherit. And you see, the children we are raising these days, they are learning from us at the slightest thing. There are some words I hear some children speak, and I'm like, oh wow. Definitely the adults around them are speaking it. And I mean positive words and negative words also. You know, you don't need to call them to sit there. And so when you are doing something, my sons today, they play the musical instruments, and it's because their dad is a music guru. Their dad taught himself how to play all the instruments he plays, and he plays all instruments, and he taught himself. And today he has built an international business out of it. He has a global brand that teaches.
For adoption, come adopt my 2 kids. They need to learn music instruments. Please,
you know, he has a global brand that they teach music globally, you know. And my children they know how to play the instrument because their dad plays the instrument. I mean, there's no day you come to the front of our house and you're not hearing music, because that is who we are. You know, in fact, our neighbors, there are some people we met recently and they're like, okay, you're the one that lives in that house that we're always hearing piano. That's it, you know. My boys today can play the music. They can play musical instruments because they find their dad doing that.
Just said now.
So what are your children inheriting from you? It's really key. Let's be more deliberate about it. And so, like I said, even if you are not concerned for yourself, be concerned for the generation that is coming after. What are the skills they are learning from you? You are their first teacher before anybody. You are their first teacher.
Amazing. Everything you are saying, they're just bringing out wisdom and nuggets and
wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Something that is outside what we are already doing, or something we are looking for what we don't have. We're looking for what somebody else has. Our eye is on the person that I see this person now, they are doing well in this. You just mentioned now another big point. So your husband taught himself. He did not have a tutor. He taught himself.
Yeah.
YouTube, everything. He learned music to the point where he now started doing business with the music.
And he taught himself.
Let me tell you people something. There are no limits. So it just boils down to how bad you want it. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, like she said, I like how she started. If you are looking for someone to inspire you, and I always say this thing to my coaching, my people, like women I coach, I say, if you are still looking for inspiration, you're not ready yet. If you are looking for who come and inspire you, he never tire you. That's one indicator. Because see, the Bible said, as soon as you are tired and restless, tiredness and restless, they are two critical, important factors to lifting yoke off your neck. Whatever the yoke is, yoke of
exactly. Yoke of for those that don't know, that was what God told Esau after he placed that curse on him. He said, "It is you that will when you are tired."
He didn't say God will.
So even if Esau had there was a way out for Esau. If you check it well, Esau did not die poor. Esau was already rich when Jacob was coming to him, even though he did not get that blessing that he was looking for.
Yes, because we are waiting for God. Oh God, we are in all the prayer houses. It's not bad, oh. It's not bad. You are in all the everything, morning 6 o'clock on, 6:30 on, 7 o'clock on, 9 o'clock on. You are in for prayer to prayer. But let me tell you for something. One of the ways that God answers prayers is through ideas.
Through the work of your hands.
If you receive an idea, that's the answer to prayer. It's not until you see the whole shop, the shop is on the ground. That's why I say God has answered my prayer. God has answered some of us, but we don't know that answer that he has given us is the answer because we are looking for another answer. The answer that we are thinking is not the one that we are seeing, but he has given us that answer. You might need to start praying, God, open my eyes, or let me see the idea you have put, the things, let me begin to see opportunities and not just problems. You might need to pray that prayer. So moving on, I did not pause my life because of childbearing. I did not pause my life because of childbearing. Then you said you are responsible for your life. If you keep making excuses for yourself, you will not grow. Hey, sometimes when we hear some things, we say, this person wants to swear for me. No. You will not grow. I'm not joining because I didn't have data. I didn't go out because, there was rain. It was raining. And the reason why, buy rubber slippers, took your leg inside the rain. Look, you need and want this thing more than anybody else. It is not about a man. It's not about anybody. It is you. What legacy do you want to leave? When you are gone, what do you want to be remembered for? And it is not about appearing on newspaper and having flyers and everything. It's about which life are you touching? And I love how she said that even her business, she sees it as she's touching lives. Because if she stops today, how would the website person eat? How would the graphic person eat? How would you understand? Honestly, my body is burning hot. I'm trying to be calm, but I'm super excited because I can see everything I've been saying in theory in flesh. Like, I'm like, Jesus, thank you. That is all, right? And then you said there is no way that a woman who is doing nothing will stand up to speak and someone would want to listen. See, people care about results. I was a Christian that did not have results. At a point in my life, I had very little results compared to the effort I was making. I started asking God questions. Why? What don't I know that I need to know? What is the missing link and how can I bridge the gap? Some of you don't ask God questions because you feel that there's one person you can ask all your answers to your problem. The person that has the answer is God. If you ask him, he will show you. He said, call to me, I will show you great and mighty things that you do not know. You need to ask him. I'm not joking. See, when I started to ask questions was when I started to get answers. But the quality of questions you ask will determine the quality of answers that you get. If you ask, you will get, now only you now, see your mates, like you said, engineering, or your company, this one, I see your life. That is the answer you will get. But if you ask, what can I start doing now? Like you said, you asked a question. You said, what is the problem? You asked a couple of questions. You said, who needs what? How can I get it across to them? You said, what seed do I have? See, these are questions that nobody needs to ask you. You, by yourself, needs to ask that question. Ask this question because the answers lie within you, right? You said, you said a woman should not be idle. A woman should not be idle. Look, what our guest did was that she took a problem and turned it into an opportunity. She took a problem, and I know when you spoke at church, you said that people were now referring people. People were now referring that you yourself, all you did was you took the step, and God literally, God is waiting for you.
I mean, the number of customers we have today, to the glory of God, were from referral. Most of them were from referral. We've not done any form of advert. So I know if you open your what's it called, social media, you will see some adverts popping up from some companies. We just started. We just started that, and we just started that in late August. But since we started our business in 2018, we have not done any form of advert before that August. It has been word of mouth, one person bringing the other person. So that 20 million that you heard that we did in turnover was from people bringing people.
20 million naira from going to Mount 12 to buy food stuff for people. Are you people hearing what I'm hearing? Hey! It's not boutique, it's not boutique. It's not paparazzi. 20 million naira From going to buy food.
You said Chimo.
20 See, oh God, we cannot make light of this. 20 million naira from going to buy food stuff to my 12. She stays on the island, so it's not as if she was born. She was staying in one kind rural area, and then she was seeing my 12, and she said, "Oh my 12, oh my 12." No, hey, you people don't understand. There's a way this thing is doing me. There's a way it's doing me. If she could do it, you can also do it. But I hope we're getting the point that she's raising. I hope you're getting. Okay, you're not doing the profile. You're thinking that she got the money through another way. No, you say seriously. Oh, okay. 20 higher. As you're sleeping this night, just be hearing 20 million naira. 20. Be hearing my voice. Be hearing it because there is no limit.
Of God.
Told Abraham, he said, as far as your eyes can see. But many of us are seeing the wrong things. We see ourselves as nothing good can come out. My business is not, it's just ordinary sand. It's ordinary moi. It's ordinary. Show me the way. Oh. What she's saying is the way. What she's saying is the way.
Exactly.
She said let me tell you something. God is waiting to bless you. God is waiting to bless whatever your hand finds to do. If he does not see anything to bless, he will not bless. If your hand is not doing anything, there is nothing for him to bless. If you like, go to all the prayer houses in Nigeria because many of them are springing up more and more. Your problem is not prayer. Your problem is corresponding action to your prayer. After praying, there are steps. The God I know, the one I know, will give you instructions. After praying, there is no way. He must go and do this thing. The problem is when you don't do the thing, you will remain there. And you will say, I'm angry at God. I'm angry. I'm this. He is not the one doing you. He is not the one doing you. Everyone quickly, you said, who needs what? How can I get it? Then I wrote something that said, if the business you tried is not working, don't be afraid to pack it up and start over. And I noted that from when you said that you were doing one business and then you lost money. You didn't start there and say, hey, you took yourself and said, okay, I'm going to my 12 market woman, and today you built this brand. And then I wrote what you said, start humbly, but don't stop in that humble background. God is the God of growth. God wants you to grow. If you are not growing, you are disgracing God. If you are not growing, God is not happy. God is not happy with your stagnancy. God is not happy when you are not moving forward. God is not the one to blame. Trust me. When she said God is the God of growth, which means that if you take your prayer point and say, God, you said you are the God of growth. Can you take this, my business of crayfish, and take me to the nation? Then he will now begin to tell you what systems to put in place, because you cannot go to the nations as a crayfish seller without some kind of package and some kind of things. God will tell you what. Tell you do this and do that. What? This is telling you might sound very difficult. It might sound impossible. I cannot even begin to tell you that, see, as I'm like this, there's a vision that God gave me for Live Again that is bigger than my head is big. Live Again, ultra modern place in the heart of Lagos, with everything, shelter, everything that a woman needs to live again. That project is in millions. Is it millions? What am I saying? The project is huge. But my father that sent me is the owner of the heavens and the earth. So me, I have to start saying, you know what, Lord, here I am, send me. Whatever it is, just tell me what to do and I will do it. So you need to understand that God wants to bless you. He said Adam and Eve have reproduced billions. God himself placed seed in what he produced so that they could reproduce. And then you said, I had to think of how this business will outlive me. We must see beyond ourselves and know we are responsible for others, right? And I noticed something that I said, impact before income. Impact before income. One of the ways that you need to understand this is that don't be so money conscious. Don't be so, while money is great, if you are money conscious, you will miss money, you will lose money, and then money will run away from you. Impact. which life can I touch now? When you think about which life can I touch now, you can now think of the problems that they are facing that you can solve for them. Because you cannot solve some problem without having compassion for the person. It's not possible. Because you are pitying them that, hey, they are suffering, let me help them. That's why you will now think of solving their problems. I thought to mention that. And I'll just, finish up with these questions. First question is, what are the practical steps? Practical steps. You can choose if it's 3, 4 because of time that you can share. Because people ask you, show me the way. Hey, this is my life. Hey, practical steps that you took to build your business from scratch, or that you would tell to somebody who has not started and wants to build their businesses from scratch. And then the next question is your mistakes that you made when you started and the lessons that you learned. And that is all. And then later on, we can now, if we have any questions, so that I don't keep you beyond a particular time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so practical steps to build a business. Number 1, we mentioned already, to identify a need. What need have you identified, and what and can you solve? That's the first step. At least identify that need first. Then, practically, I would suggest that you begin you may want to test the market first. There's a whole lot to it. There's market segmentation. Who is this thing that you have identified? Okay, so let's say it is for instance, I don't know, this is from off the top of my head, yeah. I realized that this axis is very dirty. So I want to start a cleaning service. In addition, I know that the government is doing theirs, but in addition to that, so I want to start a cleaning service where we probably come to your estates and around your estate and we clean it. This is just an idea that I just picked up just now. So you have identified that need. Now, because everywhere is dirty, yeah, you have identified the need. Now, what next I would do in that situation? I would begin to speak, because I need to at least there's something called product market fit. I need to be sure that my product has the right market and the fit, yeah? So I would first of all profile the kind of people, the persona of people that I want to have. Who are those people that can afford this kind of cleaning service? Where do they live? What estates do they live? Okay. I mean, if I were to take my cleaning service to maybe Abidjan market, would they appreciate it? At what price would they appreciate it? At what price can an estate appreciate it? How do I value my time based on monetary values? What I'm saying is, if I am to put in 5 hours of cleaning, how much, when I consider that I've bought materials for cleaning, when I consider that I'm to pay salaries, how much is that worth in terms of money? And how much is my time worth? That will now bring you to the issue of pricing. So in all of this, I've mentioned a lot of things. I've not told you to go and register the business yet, because I need to get my product market fit. If I run to register the business just by identifying the need, I may be wasting money, because remember that CAC will collect money from you, even though it's not much anymore, but they will still collect money from you. But I want to ensure that what I am even trying to do, there's a market for it. So that's the route I would advise you take. Once you have identified that need, study which market is ready for you. By market, I'm not talking about physical market that people go to buy things. I'm saying the people that are going to be willing to pay for this service, where are they located? Where do they live? Can I go to those estates and their associations and speak with them to say, we are going to render this service to you? And you know, so when you are able to even get off-takers from the onset, then you know that you are in business. Then you know that you can quickly go and register your business. Do you see the trajectory I'm talking about? So quickly register your business. So please have a proper accounting thing from day one, because this is tied to the mistakes I made. You know, accounting is important. So I'm the person that, although I'm an engineer, I don't like anything numbers. I've never liked it. I'm praying to God for the grace to like it, you know. And it affected business, because if we now got to a stage where we shall know that we're making money. Where is the money? Where is the money? So let every finance that is passing through your business pass through your business account. It is important. If you want to build a business that will last, you need a business account. When I started, I was using my personal account, and you know, the day I got, or no, it wasn't the day I got it, but the day this particular customer found out that we now had a personal account. She's a customer and she's like a mentor to me. In fact, she's a mentor. And she had not bought from us in a while. And then when we had gotten our business account for months and she didn't know. So by the time she came, and then I sent her the new account, she was like, oh, well, you know, people are watching. They want to see how much you believe in this dream of yours, in this thing that you are doing. Because you don't validate it until you have started putting those structures in place. Like right now, we're speaking to some investors and they're asking, have you been paying tax? Because a lot of us are running away from this tax thing. But tax is an issue and you must solve it. You must pay tax. That we didn't put our books together for 2021. That is the tax side now. We need to go and pay it. Nobody will take you seriously if you are not paying tax. So those are the mistakes I made, and I would advise that you don't make. Then another thing, don't use your personal phone number for business. By the time you want to put structures in place, it will create a problem for you. I made that mistake, like, and it was because I was just thinking to myself, yeah, let me go to market for people now. So I wasn't even thinking of it. I just thank God for the grace to grow through the years, because the truth of the matter is at that point, you know, the excitement, I'm one of those people that I easily get excited on things, you know. So the excitement of starting new things, it really gets to me a lot. Like, let's start. I didn't even plan it out. So I was using my personal line. I was throwing it out there. Everybody was just having my personal line. Now that structure is in place, some customers still prefer that it must be me that they will talk to. They will not want to talk to. And you need your peace of mind at some point. So I'm advising now, separate your business account, phone number from your personal account, and phone number. Let them, you are not your business. Your business is a living thing, separate from you. So separate yourself from your business, separate your finances from your business. Don't dip your hand. In fact, the day I was convicted of that thing, like I've just been telling God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. He said, if you are taking from your business finance, you are actually stealing from your business. Don't forget, like we have already established, the business is a separate entity. You are a separate entity. So if it is to pay yourself salary, start learning how to do that. I'm also learning how to do that. So I'm not the one that will come to you and be saying the big things and be making you feel aspire to perspire and require to fire. I don't know how to do those. You know, I like to speak from my own example. So that's one of the things that I am also working on now, paying myself a salary. So because it's easier said in a lot of meetings, you know, where I told this, everything we have said here today, the only way it can do you good is when you act on it. So when we go for meetings, we go for programs, we go for events, and they're telling us all of these things, and we're hearing it, and Rema is dropping. Which one are we picking to do? This program I said I started doing, our lecturer made us from day one. He said, write down the things that you must achieve. And if you do not achieve them, it's because you did not take an action to do that. Because for every time that you are here in class, things are dropping. In fact, they don't teach us like they teach in schools. So they will not open, there's slides, they have all the slides, but the man talks from experience. So like somebody was asking me the other day, I was asking me for my notes. I said, if you open my notes, it can't do you good because it's things that were directed at me. It's not a 7 laws of leadership that you will see, that you will not see there. So everything that was dropping at you, everything that you learned here today, which one are you going to say, okay, let me start doing? So, I'm just saying that in the area of finances, is key for you to be able to separate your business finance from your personal finance. I think those are the 3 major things I would say were mistakes I made, and helping people to know that don't make those same mistakes too, especially that whole number. You need your peace of mind. In fact, at the point I was already telling my husband, I said, I think I will give that line to business, and it's only family that will have a new line, so that let people know that it's still for business. Let them go on with it. So those are I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you the more.
Hey, ladies, don't tell me you don't have any question. Don't tell me your question is show me the way. Show me the way. There's no way without work, though. There's no way without, you must be ready to work. And everything she has shared now out of the goodness of her heart. If you listen to what she's saying very well, you'll be able to get tips that would help you, in fact, rise above the particular points that you are right now. I have learned a lot because I recently got paid a particular amount of money, and it's in my personal account, and it was for business. And it's not because I don't want to have business account. It's because they've suffered me to have business account has made me ask questions like this, that is it how small business owners suffer? Because I bring all the things I've brought. Or you open accounts now. I just left the document somewhere. But from everything I've heard, if you're asking what will you start doing now, let me tell you, I will go and continue with that account process, and then I will pay that money into the business account. Then secondly, I will start adding VAT on the things that I do, because a lot of times I've not been adding VAT. But right now, everything, both I have different expressions, my coaching, my emceeing. I used to add VAT for emceeing, but the other part, early sales, I don't used to add VAT. Right now, I will start adding VAT. So what are you going to do from the things she has said? It's not just about having knowledge. Knowledge can purge you. Applied knowledge is what you need. So what are you going to start? I'm going to be listening. I'm waiting to hear from you. What are you going to do after this particular meeting now? What are you committing to do? I'm waiting for your comments. And then if you have a business that you do, right, just type in business that you do also in the comments. Let's see how, she can just give you 1 or 2 advices for that, and then she gives her final word and she leaves. It's already 10 o'clock. Can you just type it in the
I saw a question earlier on from Rose. She said she would like to learn how to acquire and maintain customers. So I think we answered that already when we're talking about profiling your customers. First of all, what do you do? Okay, so you said in a restaurant specifically. So what kind of food does your restaurant serve? Who are the people you want in your restaurant? Where do they live? Where do they eat? Because you need to even target where they are eating. Where do they worship? Where do they hang out? Your kind of customers, where are they located in terms of even what salon do they go to cut their hair? What salon do they go to eat? Those are the places you need to start making yourself visible. So you see this, where is your restaurant located? Who are the neighbors you have at that place? I mean, who lives around you there? What kind of estates or what kind of residential places are around you? Because those are the people that are even closest to you. So you need to now make yourself visible. Entering an estate, like I said, you can partner with them and, you know, be on their group. Talk to your friends. You don't even need to spend money. Talk to your friends who live in different estates. Oh, can you help me advertise on your platform? You know, so because you're a restaurant, in all these things I'm saying, you realize I've not really gone the route of advertising on social media, because let's leave social media for now. Let's do the physical, because there's a lot of money that people are leaving on the table by not even doing the physical marketing. You know, so restaurants, you know, estates around you, the kind of people around you, the kind of people you want in your restaurant. Where do they live? Where do they worship? Even in your church, okay, if your restaurant is located in the locality where you live and you go to church there, how many people have you reached out to in church to say, I'm doing this? You know, then you can begin to now look for ways to incentivize your service. You know, I won't be the one to tell you to quickly go and be doing a giveaway, all those things that people used to make, try to make people, to attract people to your business. Giveaway is not a lasting solution. It's not a lasting, and it's not a way to attract people, especially people that know the worth of the food that you are giving. It's not giveaway that will bring them. It's your service that will make them stay. It's your service, the kind of service you are rendering in that your place, that will make them stay. So your staff, how are your staff being trained? Are they trained with proper food ethics? Are they polite? Are they neat? Those are the things, the kind of people you are profiling that you want them to be in your restaurant should be able to be retained, because even you are prepared for them. Just like I always tell my staff, if it is not fitting for a king, then it is not fitting for our customers. Because we see our customers as kings. In fact, there are a lot of times when we write on social media, we're writing our food for royalty. So it's not, if it's not fitting, that's because the kind of people we are targeting are not just anybody. Bible calls us already kings and priests, but it's a few people that even are conscious of it, that I'm a king, I'm a priest. So we know those that we are targeting. You know, then what you said, what kind of relationship should exist between a manager and other staff? Of course, the manager, first of all, needs to be able to understand his staff. Now, it's interesting you mentioned this, because this was one of the things we learned today. You know, a manager or a boss or a superior in the workplace who already feels like he or she has the upper hand, so he can do and undo. I can fire anytime, I can hire anytime. It's only digging a grave for the business, because there are two phenomena. There are two different types of customers. When people talk about customer, they talk about the external customer alone, those that are coming in to buy. But there are internal customers. You see, your staff are your internal customers. The way you treat them makes them either stay or go. The way you treat your staff makes them even become ambassadors for your business to others. There are different levels of leadership, and leadership by position alone is not leadership. People are only loyal to you because you are paying their bills. That's not the point you should be at. That's positional leadership. So you are just, I'm a leader because and you have to obey me. And that's why you hear people say things like, after all, I pay you money, I pay you salary, I pay you this, I pay you that. No, they've not gotten to the point of respecting you if you have to say that. When you begin to invest in your people, when you begin to show that you actually value them. There was one of the stories that we were told today, there's a general in the army who leads a battalion, and I think he said there are over 150 of them in the group, And he knows every one of them, even up until their family. So when they are doing their morning call, how do you know how the soldiers will come out in the morning and they are doing their what's that thing? Whatever their drill. Yeah. When they are doing it, he's calling you general, whatever, I don't know what lieutenant, whatever they call themselves. How's your child? How is, and he's calling the child by name. How, see, that's when you see that somebody has built an army, and then the army is willing to do anything for the business. That is where we need to focus on in becoming leaders. The people under you, in fact, if they have to go, they should be in tears. It's not because, I mean, I like I said, there were some of the some staff that were with us and they had to leave. One of them was literally crying. It's not because of it. She was like, in fact, that day, because we had to shop before we did our send forth for her. All of a sudden, we just noticed that she wasn't with us. She had left us. By the time she came back, she was with swollen eyes. I said, Amina, why are you crying? She just busted out again, crying. I'm saying that because of the value we put inside her. And today, I'm so glad, to the glory of God, that she's also in a better organization, that we helped to fix her. If you have placed value upon because don't forget the same God that created you created those people. So when you begin to mistreat your staff, the staff another thing to talk, the staff, your business staff are not your housemaid. They are doing your, maybe you have a salon and the staff is the one that is maybe to fix somebody's hair, and from there you are saying, come and go to the house, come and go and cook okra for me. They are not your except you are paying them salary for house girl. And let's learn to separate, like I said earlier, separate your business from your personal life. And by the way, you may want to look at that example I gave earlier on. That's my nanny that was following me to the market. She was earning salary both ways. So I will pay her for the house, I'll pay her for this. It was just a way of her helping me, and so she was enjoying it. But and that was a temporary measure until we're able to put a proper team in place. Starting a rental business, I definitely need to acquire knowledge. Starting out a rental business, therefore, okay. So yes, thank God you've been able to streamline to what you need to do. So action steps. So you need to be able to now know, where am I getting the knowledge from? Who can I talk to in the industry that can even put me through? A lot of people are not willing to share knowledge, but you will find, that's where the prayer comes in. Pray for God's guidance and God's leading. He will direct you. How does one keep the distance between you and your staff and still keep a cordial relationship with them? This, I believe, is also a personality thing, and it can be learned. So you can't. So the concept is not to keep the distance. Actually, the concept is not to keep the distance. The concept is they see your value so much, so they respect you, even though you are readily available for them. My staff today, in fact, some of them, they will put their hand on my shoulder. I'm like, you are so free. And it's because of the way you are loving around them. But they know when it's time for business, it's time for business. Nobody. So it's a personality thing, like I said. How can you differentiate from business time to, it's not every time when you make yourself too me, I like to be accessible, because that's when information will come to me. So I don't separate, I don't keep the distance. When I say that we have stayed too long and we have not communicated, I'm on the phone with them discussing, what happened today? For instance, today, this is just by the way, today we had a call, and because I had gotten feedback from a corporate customer that we supply, and that one was giving us good feedback and all of that. But then again, another customer complained about the quality, one of the quality of things that they supplied. And so I'm like, Mary, well done. Oh, this customer has hailed us. She was really happy. Hey, thank God, oh, thank God. And I said, you keep quiet. Why did you go and buy this? And everybody started laughing. But we know, and at the end of the day, she's taking responsibility for the error in her process, and make them take responsibility. Like, I will take the responsibility in front of the customer. I will apologize. I won't say, is that girl that went? No, I won't say that. But after taking responsibility in front of the customer, we internally deal with it. Whoever made that error knows that they have to replace it. We have that standing law. You replace it because the company cannot keep on bearing losses. So, like I said again, please don't go and take my word for it. They now go and say, they said that we should start charging you for everything. There are places also that as a boss and as a Christian person, you step in. I mean, before we came to this resolve of them paying for things, the company had been paying for years. And I mean years, So know what to do, study your staff, know their strengths. Sometimes the roles you give the staff are not the roles that they have strengths in. How is your recruitment process like? Who does your recruitment for you? One of the staff we had, or we have, because she's still with us, we found out that she was a misfit. We hired her and put her in customer service. I mean, she's a very nice girl, very cordial, very everything, but man, she could not handle the stress of the job. And she did not talk, but we were getting feedback from the customers. And then at a point, I called her to a meeting and I said, would you rather go to the data team? Because I know that she's also doing data entry courses. So I said, would you rather go to the data team? She was happy. She said, thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. I said, oh, wow. So you were going through this and you didn't talk. So study your people and know what roles are fitting for them. Okay. I definitely struggle with procrastination. Please advise me. See, at the point when you know that you struggle with this, you already know that you already know what to do. There's no all the 10 principles that I can say I want to start giving you now. They do not correspond to one thing and one thing alone. Stand up and do it. Stand up and do it. You struggle with procrastination. Thank God you've been able to decipher. How do you plan your day? Give yourself some reward measures for tasks that you complete. I remember there was a time I lost money. No. I didn't lose money. I overspent. And this was even back then when I was still writing JAMB, and I overspent. And so I had spent my transport fare for the week. I punished myself by trekking to the school. And this trekking is not small. I trekked from Antony to K2. Then my school was in K2, my lesson was in K2. So the way you set, I mean, I think that helped me, because only me by myself taught myself that next time you will not eat your pocket money. So if you realize that you are procrastinating, can you set some reward systems for yourself? Since 2018, but it still feels like I'm in sports, no growth. Getting clients has been a challenge for me. I get orders, but usually from people I know. So the people you know, it's fantastic that you are getting orders from people you know. Now, can you reach out to the people you know to bring in more customers for you? It's an exercise we practiced earlier on in the year in our business also. We felt like we had maxed out on the number of customers that we had. We needed to grow. So we asked them, can you bring, and some of them honestly will tell you, I mean, I always tell people about you, you know, but some we're glad to bring people. And today we also have grown in number because of that. So explore the existing clients, send them a good message, thanking them for their business, thanking them that because they exist, your business exists. You know, there's a way you make your customer feel like, yes, I'm king. You understand? And then in the process, and you know, it's not only, I mean, and I'm not saying you should only send messages. In fact, a lot of times, one-on-one, and that's one of my own take-homes for this week, out of what I learned in school this week, that I'm going to have to call all my customers, and I will call them by myself. I know that our customer service does a fantastic job, but I need to call them by myself. I need to feel their pulse. So, and I'm saying I want to call over 500 people, so I know that it's a lot. So if you're going to grow your customers right now, explore that option. Have a one-on-one with them. Just call them, chat them up. I mean, discuss with them. Don't be too serious about it. Thank you for this. You know, is there any way we can improve? You know, ask them for honest feedback. Is there a way you feel we can improve? Has our service brought you fulfillment? You know, and all of that. How can we improve in our quality? You know, you are doing all of that, and then at the end of the day, asking, can they please refer someone? You know, I believe that they will help. It's a lot of time, like Bible says that ask, you'll be given. You don't ask because you don't get because you don't ask. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Hi, are you still there?
At this point, I don't know. Please, what can we just say to our guest speaker? I'm honestly just full of gratitude.
Thank you. I thank God. I actually thank God. You know, I was going to send you a message and I deleted it because of the way I was feeling. I had typed it actually. And I said, can we keep it short? But I'm grateful to God that I did not keep it short. I'm grateful because I know that life has come out and I know that life has been impacted. And I pray that for every one of us, including myself, that our lives will not remain the same. For through this teaching, our lives will not remain the same. I will not be found wanting, and you will not be found wanting in Jesus' name. And our businesses will grow. Our children will rise up and call us blessed in the name of Jesus. Our hands will continue to do good and prosper in everything that we lay our hands upon in the name of Jesus. Amen and amen.
Wow. Thank you so much. Just let me just release you.
We can't hear you again. I think, are you using an earpiece? I can't hear you again.
No, I'm not using earpiece because it has surround sound sometimes. Can you hear me?
There's a glitch. There's a background. There's a feedback we are getting.
Oh, really? I don't know why that is happening. Let me see if the earpiece will be better. So sometimes the earpiece gives us surround and everything. Is this better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I was saying thank you so much, and let me leave you to rest. And I'm just thankful that, you know, as I was led, I decided to bring you, because a lot of times, like I tell people, we are waiting for, sometimes we're waiting for a dove or, you know, a dramatic voice to tell us things, but God leads us, He nudges us in our hearts. And as long as we are able to act on that thing, even though you make a mistake acting on it, the Bible says that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. You must know that God has got you, and in the place of your assignment, and your business is actually an assignment from God. And you know, it's really about touching lives at the end of the day. If you don't touch lives with what you're doing, it is not from a place of love, it is wasted. I didn't say it. Read 1 Corinthians 13. You will see that if you do anything out of love, it is counted as nothing.
So I really want us to start thinking about businesses differently, because we see that from our 12 market woman, she changed it. She's now My Food Angels. And My Food Angels is really about knowing that that food that she's giving to people, supplying to people, is her helping people live better lives, have better nutrition. She's solving problems. She's making people happy. And they are praying for her. And she cannot be small. In fact, the purpose preserves you. And it's a way of, you need to know how to tie whatever you're doing with your job, your business, but your business should be tied to purpose. Don't just come and say, okay, let's go, algorithm, let them like our post and go. Can somebody come to your page and be inspired, even as a business owner? So I really love everything that has happened today. And I'm just so, in fact, the gratitude is that I did not miss the nudging from God when I met her that day to say, invite this woman to Meet Again community. And I want to thank you for yielding, for pouring out of yourself, for being patient, for just aligning and just being amazing. I don't know. I don't know how to express my gratitude, but I know that every one of us is grateful for the gift of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Please let me just release you so you go and rest. I can imagine your kids, you don't even know what's going on, Everybody, maybe they are sleeping or something. Please, let me release you. Thank you so much. Oh,
all right. Thank you.
So
thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God. As in, there are no words. I'm honestly speechless at the way God works. This is why I always tell you people that don't try to make everything that to be perfect. You see all the things that happened to me today, right? When I was trying to come on live, it might not be perfect, but because, you need to learn to choose progress over perfection.